We got some good shots of them crossing here.
Down here? What, the steam? Or, or sprinters, 153s? Good.
No, I don't think we're bothered with the steam because, I mean, we want to show the railway as it is.
The fault with the steam is you come all that way with 2 cameras, you get 2 shots, and it's okay to stick in, but you can't really do. But that what we got at Llanbister was excellent with the procession. That was a brilliant day, that was.
Melting footage, haven't we?
Good.
But
good.
I think we'll have a go with this HST when it comes in January.
Yeah, 29th.
Where's that running from?
Oh, it's coming from St Pancras.
Coming
St Pancras, the
from
South Wales.
Swansea.
No, St Pancras, the South Wales main line to Courtsart, Swansea District line, Pontarddulais, Central Wales line, Shrewsbury, and back
So it's
down
coming the opposite way to what we're.
It's coming up this way, yeah, and it's going to come in the up direction, yeah. Yeah. So we've now left Knighton, passed over the river there, which was the River Team, which actually marks the border, Offers Dyke. We're proceeding now towards Knucklas. At Knucklas, of course, we'll see quite a spectacular viaduct, which is a few miles away yet. At Cross there, of course, which we've seen on a few occasions earlier on, a driver now, when passing over a permanent magnet, will receive a buzzer in the driving cab. He will cancel out to avoid the brake applying, and that indicates, of course, that he takes no further action, because that particular indicator is only applicable for the approach to Knighton in the up direction. Permanent speed restriction here. Permanent speed restriction of 20 miles per hour. This is Whittley's Farm Crossing. Again, there's an unusual whistle board. It goes right back to steam days. Rather than having W or SW as we've seen earlier on, we have the actual wording whistle. That board itself is made from timber. Been there for many, many years. Yes, yes, we're climbing. Yes, we barked up here with the steam earlier on this year. We're now approaching a permanent 20 miles an hour speed restriction for Lower House Crossing here. These restrictions are in force simply because, of course, to allow the user of the crossing sufficient warning time on the approach of a train to get clear. So the actual PSR depends primarily on warning time and, of course, sighting time for the user of the crossing. This is Lower House Crossing, and just around the corner is Knucklas Station. That's when the viaduct comes into view. Quite a spectacular one it is too. Again, Knucklas is a request stop, so the driver will be keeping a lookout that there's nobody on the platform to pick up. Nobody in the train to drop off, there's nobody on the platform to pick up. Oh, he did. Thank you, Stefan. We're actually stopping here now. Thanks to the driver there for... Knucklas Viaduct can be seen on the right hand side now as we pull away. It has 13 arches, each with a span of 35 feet 9 inches, standing on masonry piers. And the viaduct itself carries the railway 69 feet above the floor of the valley below. The routing gradient here is 1 in 60, so it's quite a climb. There's a castellated turrets here, quite dramatic. This is the viaduct now, we're on top of it now. It's quite a structure. The ruling gradient here is still 1 in 60, we're still climbing.
It doesn't appear to be, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's going down.
Although certainly, if you listen to the tone of the unit, if you listen to the tone of the engine on the unit, you can detect we're climbing here. If this was a steam loco, we'd certainly know it. We're actually climbing all the way up now to Hayup Crossing. Another permanent speed restriction here, which is quite severe, 10 miles per hour. This is Lower Hall Crossing. Again, it's been put in here because of sighting and because of sighting time for the user specifically. In the up direction, which is the opposite direction of travel we're travelling at now, it's actually only 5 miles per hour. So therefore the warning and sighting time for a user is quite restricted in the up direction, hence the PSR. This is Hay Up crossing. Some of the drivers would say, hey up, it's Hay Up. There was some cattle killed here some years ago.
Is there?
Yes, there was. Yes. Yes, if you look on the right hand side as you pass over the crossing, you can see the sighting is quite severe for a user of this crossing. So they've got to take special care when they pass over here. Telephones are provided to speak to the signalman at Pen-y-Bont to get permission to cross over.
Finding these crossings in the dark must be a work of art.
Well, you know, it's like everything else with the driver's route knowledge, you know, is usually sufficient for him, although,
Yeah.
you know, it helps now that we've got fixed beam, well, not
Yeah.
fixed beam headlights as such, but the units come built with headlights now, as opposed to a conventional DMU, it's required a fixed beam headlight, and they're quite useful on these trains, the conventional headlights now. Once we clear the crossing, away we go. So this is now a straight section, and very shortly we're passing through Llangynllo Tunnel.
That's right on the manual.
Okay.
That's right on the manual when we go through the tunnel. See how it works. I think it should be alright. Is this the tunnel?
Yes, this is Llangynllo Tunnel, 647 yards long. There's a central air shaft here which is 82 feet deep.
That was it. That's how you do it. Thank you. That's it.
Little park there. Is that your way?
No,
All right.
fantastic.
Okay.
It would have been better over there, but it's
Llanbister Road station now. Again, another request stop, a small
we
halt.
haven't seen this, have we?
No, we never found this barrel.
Sorry, not Llanbister Road, Llangynllo. Get that right.
No, we never found these two
You didn't.
stations.
You didn't. No.
Oh, we didn't.
No, we couldn't go to every one in a week.
No, it is a bit difficult, isn't it? Really.
With the train
Yeah,
going.
it is a bit difficult.
We caught every train when we were out from 9 in the morning till 5.
Yeah, I can't recall seeing too many people at Llangynllo station, to be honest with you.
Is there any snow on the mountains further down?
No, not at all. No, we've not had too much in the way of snow, really, for a good few years. We get the get a sprinkling of it, doesn't last too long. You know, don't tend to get the snowfalls that we used to get, thank goodness. On a falling gradient now. Present time, the set is moving quite well. I think Llambista Road I think the station's a good few miles from the town. Memory serves me correctly. I think the town's over on the left-hand side and the station's a good 2 miles from it, possibly a bit more.
We found a signpost in the other valley saying Llanbister.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah. Still some frost on the rails here, or on the sleepers at least. Geographically speaking, from just south of Shrewsbury to Pen-y-Bont, which includes, of course, West Wales. What we shall lose next year, of course, is the Cardiff Valleys, which becomes a standalone train operating unit.
A long way if they asked you to do an out-of-hours visit to Penzance.
Oh yeah, well I don't do out-of-hours visits, the locals do that, obviously. If I go down to Penzance, it's an overnight stay. It's an overnight stay down there, obviously. Box visits are done by the local signalling inspectors, you know, or area movements leaders as they call them now, AMLs.
Looks like a crossing keeper's house then.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, this one. That I believe was Maylord crossing, and again there's a PSR enforced there because of warning time for the user of the crossing. Climbing like slightly now. Still new timbers on the ground here, as I say earlier on, the permanent wear department done a good job here. All these sleepers are replaced by hand on this line, you know.
Spot replacement.
You know, well, it's a programme, not so much now because there's a maintenance-free holiday now, but you know, it's a planned programme. You know, I believe the civils plan their work over a 3-year period, if I'm not mistaken. It might have changed now, but I think they tend to do that work over a 3-year period. You know.
Quite a good ride.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. I'll have to clean this central window. It's very difficult to see out of here now. Tend to lose your bearings a bit here. Give this a clean when we get to Llandrindod. Now, looking at that, that was that crossing house, I believe. Looking at the table in, I was Troy the Rue Vedwin crossing, not Maylord. Troy the Rue Vedwin. So the excuse I've got is actually the fact that the window is dirty, so I'm going to stick to that. This is Llanbister Road station here. We use this location here for a photographic stop when we had the steam specials over here earlier on in the year. Again, quite a substantial station at one time with a good shed and a yard. Station buildings on the left, now private dwelling. Again, a request stop. Standard shelter there. Yeah, he only goes as far as Llandrindod
And
Wells.
he changes over
Swansea
with a
driver.
Swansea driver.
Yeah, although operationally this railway belongs to Regional Railway South Wales and the West, we don't have any drivers who work for South Wales and the West who work over. Swansea men who work for Intercity Great Western on an agency basis for us from the south, and Regional Railway Central men who work from Shrewsbury into Llandod or Llandrindod from the north. At one time Shrewsbury went through to Knighton. You know, Swansea men of course worked up to Shrewsbury in steam days.
And that there's still train crews at Pontyfinnan.
Yeah, there's only about I think there's 4 or 6 drivers there now.
And what do they work, freight?
Well, there's only freight jobs, but they're very few and far between now, you know. Very few and far between now. The last depot left on the Central Wales line.
Now this is the warning board for Dolau, is it?
Yes, we're approaching Dolly, or Dolau, as some people call it, yeah. Wonderful station this, you'll see. There's a Dolly Station Action Group who look after the station. The platform's just been rebuilt on the
And there's a
on the
little
station.
house here as well. Little house. We filmed him.
That's
We filmed a
Did
little
you?
house here.
Well, that's
yeah.
unusual.
Throwing bottles in the flower beds.
Again, this is an AOCL installation. Red light pulsing, again treadle operated, so the driver's braking to stop here until of course he sees the white flashing light which indicates the road traffic lights are pulsing. There we are, you can pass over the crossing safely. Now clearly if the red light remained he would have to stop. There's a permanent speed restriction here of 10 miles an hour over the crossing. Wonderful station this. The Dolly Station Action Group do a smashing job on this station.
Keep it lovely,
You
don't
know, they certainly do. It's a wonderful job. Really a delight to see, and the little waiting room here is delightful. There are poems in there and timetables, and they've won many awards for the best kept station. Wonderful little station. And we have a passenger, I believe, on the platform. There we are, Dolau. Yes, wonderful station, wonderful. There are some murals up against the wall there of steam locos and a bit of a potted history of the line. In the garden there's a stop signal which you can see on the left there, possibly not on the video, but the old station house there's a semaphore signal in the yard there, in the garden, stop signal. If I'm not mistaken, I think if the owner's in residence the signal's off, and if it's not he's out. Whether that's quite true or not, I don't know, but certainly I've heard it to be. No doubt if he's looking at this video in the future, he'll probably correct me. But wonderful station, Dolly. Wonderful little station. The old up platform, as you can see on the right-hand side there, they keep that landscaped. as the line curves around to the right here, to the left is Pen-y-Bont Common, and over to the right, which possibly we can't see on this video, is a location known as the Little Hill. We're on the approach now to Pen-y-Bont Tunnel. Once we get through the tunnel, of course, is just a short distance further on is Pen-y-Bont Station. Again, another request stop. Approaching Pen-y-Bont Tunnel now, which is 404 yards long, and a short distance beyond the southern portal, of course, is Pen-y-Bont Station. Again, another request stop. We're not too far from Llandrindod Wells now. Pen-y-Bont Station just around the corner. Again, a request stop, so the driver's prepared to stop in case there's anybody on the platform.
There's something on the right hand side on the platform, and we haven't been able to find out what it was. I mean, it's like you see the little concrete with names on them.
Yes, you'll find that no doubt speed, safety, comfort and efficiency has no doubt been put in by the local civil engineers many years ago. I should think those terms, to me, are really something a civil engineer would use, and they've been there for some years, and I suspect if you look back historically, probably the engineer responsible for the line has put them in there, you know, because that term, even now, terms like that are used, so I suspect it's purely a civil engineering function, which is quite appropriate really if you think about it. Speed, safety, efficiency, etc. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I suspect the truth be known about it, be the civil engineer for the line many years ago has put this in, you know. Okay. Well, we're not too far from Llandrindod Wells now. It's the wind blowing that back, is it? great deal we can do with this at the moment, to be honest. Now it'll drift back again. Won't go any further than that. It'll just drift back now. Yeah. It shouldn't do, but it's obviously wipers on these units are a bit temperamental, you know. So there's not a great deal that we can do about this, really. Certainly don't want to be standing like this all the way to Llangynllo filling with this thing. Drift and then stick then. Hopefully it's not. It'll drift back and then it should go back again. See? That won't move now. Distant signal, or distant board I should say, for Llandrindod Wells crossing. Earlier on we just saw some groundworks or bridge works for a new bridge to be built over the railway in connection with a small bypass they're building at Llandrindod. I think it's being built to go into an industrial unit on the upside. These barriers are train man operated here. There's a pull cord opposite the driver's drop leaf window, and by reaching out and pulling a cord you can set up the operating sequence for the barriers to lower to allow us to pass over the crossing. So the driver will position himself opposite the pull cord, and once he's stopped looking out of the window, pull the cord and set up the operating sequence for the road traffic lights and barriers. And to his left there's a stop board, and once the white light illuminates we can proceed over the crossing. Indicates of course the barriers are down and the road lights are pulsing. Barriers are going down now, so the road lights are obviously pulsing to the road users now who must stop. Barriers are now down. We have our white pulsing light. So it's now safe to pass over the crossing. The signal box that used to be here, a London North Western box, has now been re-erected on the platform at Llandrindod, and it's a museum, which is nice to see rather than it being demolished. It was taken down brick by brick from here, just on the right hand side, and reconstructed on the station. Some of the purists will say, of course, that either the London North Western Railway box, painted in Great Western chocolate and cream, but I don't think that matters a great deal as long as the box is there. That's the most important thing. What colour it is, of course, is academic, I think. It's at this location that we actually pass the up train here. Can't see it in the up platform at the moment. I don't suspect it'll be too far away. Again, two white lights here to indicate to the driver that the points are correctly set. You'll note the BU indicator on the left hand side. Fibre optic, which indicates of course barriers up. So what that means is of course that the driver knows that the barriers have been raised automatically behind the train. If they weren't illuminated, the conductor would have to walk back and operate them locally. Otherwise there'd be quite a jam at the crossing. This is the only manned station as such on the line now. There are two staff here, although at Pen-y-Bont there are still crossing keepers down there, but technically this is the only booking office left on the whole Central Wales line now. There's a plaque on the platform there on the ground level to indicate the first occasion the Queen set foot in Wales. 1952, I believe it was.